The rivalry between current recrowned middleweight champion Israel Adesanya and contender Dricus du Plessis is heating up. The beef seemingly began when Dricus du Plessis made the claim that he is the only true fighter coming out of Africa and will be the only fighter representing Africa if he won a belt following his win over Derek Brunson at UFC 285. The jab was seemingly pointed towards fighters like Kamaru Usman, Francis Ngannou, and Israel Adesanya. Born in Nigeria but based in New Zealand, the last stylebender has now responded to Dricus du Plessis, initially deciding against referencing him by name during the post-fight press conference in his last time out against Alex Pereira. The response comes in the form of an Instagram post that references du Plessis' coach's recent and quite frankly ridiculous claim that Dricus had been competing on 8% oxygen intake through his nostrils prior to a recent surgery. The last stylebender's post goes on to say, "Lol, he only on 8%. Look at my nostrils." There were rumblings about a potential matchup between Israel Adesanya and du Plessis in the wake of the last stylebender's reclamation of the middleweight belt. However, a fight between du Plessis and the very dangerous Robert Whittaker has recently been announced and will take place July 9th at UFC 290. If du Plessis can get through Whittaker, and that is a very big if, when you compare their respective performances against a shared opponent like Brunson, du Plessis will likely receive the next middleweight shot and break the stalemate that seems to be occurring at the moment, where it seems like Adesanya and Whittaker might fight again and again. Would you like to see du Plessis take on Adesanya for the belt? Do you feel like he's done enough to earn the shot? How do you see him faring against Robert Whittaker? There are rumors swirling that a huge fight in the welterweight division is headed our way, as reports are emerging that surging welterweight fighter Jack Della Maddalena could be paired off against Sean Brady at UFC 290. Maddalena earned his entry into the UFC through the Dana White Contender Series and has since racked up 4 straight finishes, with the most recent one a dominant performance over Randy Brown. Sean Brady recently tasted defeat against Belal Muhammad at UFC 280 by second round KO, his first slip-up following 15 straight victories. The fight will be a true heat check for both fighters. This will be 13-ranked Jack Della Maddalenna's first top 10 ranked opponent and a true test of whether he will be able to compete with the top-flight welterweights after an astronomically quick rise to the top of the heap. For Brady, this represents his chance to show that the Muhammad loss is not career-defining and that he is worthy of his number 9 ranking spot. How do you see the fight going down between the two? Always entertaining UFC lightweight Bobby Green has taken aim at retired fighter turned commentator Paul Felder following his no contest with Jared Gordon due to a clash of heads. Whilst initially ruled a KO/TKO finish, it was reviewed and determined a no contest due to a significant clash of heads between the two fighters. As the situation unfolds, you can clearly hear emotion in Paul Felder's voice as he says "come on" multiple times when reviewing the headbutt footage. Talking to Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour, Green made it clear that he wasn't happy with how Felder handled the situation while commentating during the incident. He said, "When we see each other, he knows what time it is too. We're going to have some words when I see him. I'm going to wait to see him face to face. He knows what time it is too. Like, bro, stop with all that emotional bull S too. He was over there, come on. I'm like, bro, come on now, bro. Do your effing job." Then I told him to calm down, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was getting too emotional. Do your effing job. Secondly, it sounded like he was D-riding because that's his homie. He lived with that dude and S. But bro, don't D-ride. Keep that S straight up. What's your take on Bobby Green's comments? Former UFC Flyweight Championship challenger Ray Borg has officially retired from MMA following his release from Bellator. The 29-year-old fought under the UFC banner from 2014 to 2020 and was a top contender, even challenging for the belt, albeit unsuccessfully, against Demetrius Johnson in 2017 at UFC 216. His first retirement came in 2020 after being released from the UFC, although it didn't last long as he later re-signed with multiple organizations, including Eagle FC and UAE Warriors. In February 2023, he was signed to Bellator and paired off with MMA veteran Kyoji Horiguchi. The fight was supposed to take place this past weekend, however was cancelled after Borg missed weight. Borg's management, Dominance MMA, cut ties with the fighter following his release from Bellator, and the fighter announced his retirement from the sport shortly after. In a statement, Borg said, "Things did not go as planned this weekend, and I will not be fighting. I made a promise to myself that if another incident like this ever happened, I would retire. So going forward, I am officially out of the game and hanging it up. I just want to formally apologize to those I've let down and thank those who have been by my side throughout these crazy years. I'm on a different journey in life now, and I appreciate and love you all for always being Team Borg." The fight cancellation is one of at least 17 fight cancellations over the course of his 11-year career, and apparently many of those were weight-related. He retires with an impressive record of 16 wins and 5 losses. Do you think it's an early retirement? Would you like to see Ray Borg fight again, or is this the right call? Let me know in the comments. Surging UFC heavyweight contender Sergey Pavlovich has extended his current win streak to 6 following his KO of perennial contender Curtis Blaydes at their main event clash at Vegas 71 this last weekend. Pavlovich entered the fight the underdog, with many thinking the wrestling of Blaydes would be too much for the Russian. However, he was able to establish his striking early and get into a rhythm, before stuffing a half-hearted takedown from Blaydes and pouring on the pressure to get the finish. The win extends not only his win streak to 6, but also his finish streak, setting a new record in the process for consecutive first-round knockouts and placing him second overall in knockouts behind Chuck Liddell. With current champ Jon Jones set to fight Stipe Miocic in his first title defense at heavyweight, it seems more likely that instead of a title shot, Pavlovich will have to settle with an interim belt against the likes of a Cyril Gane. And if Jones were to defeat Miocic, I don't see a world in which he takes on Pavlovich, given his desire to only be in fights with already established legends of the sport, not amazing athletes looking to make a name for themselves. Do you think Pavlovich has earned himself a title shot? Let me know in the comments. Tweet of the week goes to Jack Slack this week with his tweet on the UFC Vegas 71 main event. That's all the MMA water cooler talk for today. Thanks for watching Undisputed MMA. Please like and subscribe as it helps me grow the channel and put more man hours in and get more of the latest MMA and UFC news.